Hey, you guys. So we've covered lots of different things. We've covered contacting and sampling and inviting. And now you guys know what to do with a hostess. So we've covered a lot of different stuff. But right now, it's time for some tough love, some really tough love. It's time to rip off the Band-Aid. And we are now going to ask you guys to do something that's really, really important. We need you guys to teach your first class. All right, we're going to rip that Band-Aid off. We're going to give you guys some tough love, and we are going to ask you guys to teach your first class. Now, your first class is probably going to be awkward. That's just the way it goes. It's not going to be perfect. No class is. My first class was not perfect. I messed it up. I said all kinds of things that I didn't even know what I was saying. By the end of it, I was like, what in the world did I just say? But here's the trick. You cannot get to your second, third, or 23rd class if you don't do your first class. All right? So, tough love, we need you to just do it. I promise that when you get the first one out of the way, you're going to feel way, way better. So, just like, when you were little and you were in the dark and you were laying there and you knew that there was a boogeyman in your closet and you could just see him. You could literally see him. You could see the boogeyman in your closet. You got yourself together. You mustered up the courage and you ran and you flipped on that light and you realized, oh, that's not a boogeyman. It's just a big jacket in the closet. Oh, that was not near as bad as I was expecting it to be. Do you remember that? Well, you teaching your first class you will figure out that teaching your first class is much like that boogeyman in the closet. It's not actually a boogeyman. Really, it's just a jacket, and you can totally handle jackets, right? Not scary. So you're going to figure out that you totally, absolutely, positively overthought your first class. Once you do that first class, you're going to realize that you totally overthought it and that, it really wasn't that bad. Or maybe you'll realize that you need to prepare a little bit more, and that's okay too. But either way, you've got that big, scary first one out of the way. And honestly, really wasn't that scary. So, a lot of times people realize that they actually were overthinking it and that by the end of it, you should be having fun. And maybe that you really were overthinking it, and by the end of it, you really were having fun. So, classes really should be not overthought. They should be fun and they should be energizing. Okay. We want you to feel like teaching your classes is something that you can do. Now, maybe it's not your first priority. Maybe it's not your first love. It's not the thing that you're like totally jazzed about, but you can do it. All right. Even if it's not something that you really are like, oh my gosh, I really want to teach a class. You can do it. You can. And you will figure that out after you teach your first class. All right. So if it helps, I'm going to tell you guys a few of my very worst classes, just because I want you guys to realize that we all have those classes that are kind of a bit of a mess. But in the end, it all works out. So, okay. So my first class I taught it was a great class. I thought it was a fantastic class. What I didn't realize is that it went on, you guys, for almost 2 hours. I kept those poor people in their seats because I was so passionate about what I was teaching. I loved what I was teaching. I kept those poor people in their seats for almost 2 hours. Now, at the end of it, I got some enrollments and I met some really great people, some of whom I'm still friends with today, like legitimately friends with these people today. But 2 hours, you guys, is entirely too long for a class. But I was really passionate and I got it out of the way and I really, really felt good at the end of it. I really felt like, hey, I knew more than I thought that I knew. So, okay. And then there was another class that I had. You guys, I was teaching this class at Starbucks and it was literally going to be like 4 people. They were really super interested in the oils. They were really super interested in signing up. So I was like, well, let's all just meet up at Starbucks because it was kind of far away from my house and So we met up at Starbucks. I had only kind of knew them. They were mostly strangers. Well, before I got there, I got there a little bit early, and before they decided, or before they got there, I decided that I was going to eat something so that I had plenty of energy to get through the class, and that I would be really laser beam focused as my body was fed. So I decided to have a spinach feta wrap. Yep, that's right. I said spinach. You know where this is going, right? So I taught the whole class to these basic strangers, and I packed up all of my stuff, and I went out to my car, and I went to go put on some little lip gloss, and I pulled my mirror down, and I looked, and I was like, oh my gosh, oh, I taught the whole class with tons of spinach in my teeth, and they didn't say anything. But you know what they did? They enrolled. They enrolled because they felt my passion. Let's see. Here's my favorite one. So my friend, or not my friend, my son, my youngest son, Benjamin, he loves the oils, and he actually really loves to come to classes with me. And I decided that I would take him to one of my classes. My husband and I were kind of passing in the night, and so I didn't have time to like swap him off. He's a super good kid. He's easy, easy, easy. And so I was like, well, we'll just bring Benjamin, and he can just kind of hang out, no big deal, right? I think he was about, I don't know, 7 maybe at the time. And we started passing oils around, and I started passing around, I passed around the On Guard, and I passed around the Melaleuca, and I passed around the oregano. We were talking about immunity, and Benjamin says, Mama, is oregano the one that you put in my bathtub that burned my penis? Oh my Lord have mercy. I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. But you know what? Everybody thought it was hilarious. And I got enrollments at the end of it. So anyway, not everybody's classes are perfect. Yours is not going to be perfect. You're going to maybe forget to say some things that you think that you wanted to say, and you're going to maybe say things that you wish that you hadn't said, but it's okay. It's okay. Get that first one out of the way. Rip that Band-Aid off, all right? You can do it. Just put that class in the books. And you can't do it until you actually teach a class, right? You're not going to get where you want to be until you've actually taught that class. And those comfort levels with your teaching are not going to come with the second, third, and fourth class until you have taught the first class. So here's your little bit of tough love. Book that class. Book it right now. Get it done. And put on your big kid pants. Pull them up, right? And just get that class done. We really can't wait to hear all about it, and we wish you guys luck and many, many, many blessings as you march forward with your classes.